So we've got more chaos and shakeup in the Trump administration. And check this out today. President Trump is considering removing Kristi Noem as the Homeland Security Secretary. 4 sources told MS Now. And supposedly, here's a quote here, she's on very thin ice. Wow. So my first reaction to this is, would this be the first person that leaves the Trump administration, like one of the big, name people? I was thinking it could be Pete Hegseth, perhaps Karen Leavitt, Marco Rubio, maybe Kristi Noem now. Add that to the list. Take your bet. Because I promise you, after this 4 years is said and done, if he makes it that long, because you never know in this day and age, I'm pretty sure some of these people are going to leave. We saw it in the first Trump administration. I'm sure you're going to see it again. And so could Kristi Noem essentially be on her way out? I was looking at some of the reaction to this stuff. It's kind of funny. Peach, Kristi Noem, and people always put these memes of her as, if you watch South Park, stuff like that, running around, I guess you could say shooting puppies, that kind of stuff. And this is a reference to Cruella de Vil, which is the villain of the Dalmatians movie, the Disney movie. If you want some more details of the report here, we'll go into it. It says new, Trump's weighing Noem's ouster at Homeland Security. Okay. Stephen Miller is leading the charge. Wow. So we see this quite a bit often where Stephen Miller, is like the head policy person, I think, for the Trump people. Maybe one of the main people pulling the strings, because Trump effectively just wants to play with his toys and he wants to take, photos with people. And Trump is, basically reads whatever script is given to him. Could be by Miller, could be by a couple of the other people. But, that right there, if it indeed Stephen Miller, that has some real teeth behind it, right? Stephen Miller leading the charge. So what else? A couple of reasons here. Miller's frustration is twofold, a White House official said. One, Noem isn't moving fast enough to build out more detention centers with the money approved in Trump's big summer spending bill. So not enough detention centers. As if, I guess that's the biggest concern that Stephen Miller is like, you got to build more of these things, right? We have, I guess, more contractors that need to get that sweet, sweet government money. We want to arrest yet more people, more detention centers in the USA. So that's what one Miller's frustration. Here's another one, which I think is a big one. Multiple governors have called Trump personally and voiced frustration with Noem's handling of FEMA and disaster relief funds. I think both of these things have real teeth if it turns out to be true. And we're talking about multiple governors, which makes sense. If you're a governor and, a natural disaster, flooding, tornado, whatever storm hits, and you feel like that Noem and the FEMA just doesn't have your back. FEMA, standing for, is the Federal Emergency Management Agency, I think that's what it is. But basically, they come and help people when they need help, like real help. And Kristi Noem doesn't inspire confidence. None of the Trump people do, but I think both these things, could be very serious. I do want to show you a bit of this, though. Fox News is pushing back, okay? And they're just saying, no, not true. This stuff's not true at all. That's what they're saying. The White House pushed back on claims that President Trump is considering firing Homeland Security Kristi Noem, rejecting a report that she is, quote, on very thin ice, okay? And that the outgoing Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin is being eyed as her replacement. Interesting. So the details are very specific on like who could replace her. Very thin ice. The White House, just give you a different point of view. White House says then, I guess, everything about this is total fake news. Secretary Noem is doing a great job implementing the president's agenda and making America safe again. MS Now continues to be clowned themselves by inventing narratives that simply are not true. So you have a couple competing narratives here. One is that Trump wants to get rid of Noem. Multiple governors are against her and, get out. And then they've already eyed a replacement. And Fox is saying, and the Trump, I guess, people are saying fake news. So I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And this is something that to keep an eye on. I wouldn't be shocked if it is indeed true, but we'll see. There was one comment that I wanted to read to you I thought was pretty clever. Angela says here, imagine being the most vile head of DHS in history, and you're going to be fired for not being vile enough. It would be funny if it wasn't so disgusting. I actually think that's a really good point, right? Essentially what they want to do is like be more mean over there. Look at this too. This is referring to Kristi Noem. Senator Patty Murray, I'm a big fan. I talk about her quite a bit in the channels if you don't know. And if you're a big fan of Senator Patty Murray, also please write in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But she says, DHS has no credibility under Kristi Noem's leadership. This is not what I'm hearing from the community. You are a miserable propagandist and a proven liar. So there's no reason for anyone to believe you. I want proof that Jose is unharmed and being treated with basic dignity. I know we're getting into a lot of stuff here, but you keep hearing so many reports, crazy things going on with ICE, right? And then the Trisha McLaughlin person, who one of the propagandists, I would agree with Patty Murray on that. She says, no, ICE did not run over this illegal alien's leg, pure theater, no injury. After ICE applied risk, etc., blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing with this stuff. When you see people who defend what DHS is doing, you got to know who they are. This is her, Kristi McLaughlin, and I'll play a little bit. You can just listen to how she talks.
We've seen this movie before. We saw just months ago AOC put out a webinar on how to evade and resist arrest of ICE. We saw this with Dan Goldman out of New York and a lot of other sanctions.
You get the idea. I just wanted you to hear her voice a little bit. It's interesting because she comes across very different on screen than she does in print. Because you realize, and a lot of the Trump people are like that. It really is a clown show. There's no other way to put it. And a lot of them, they just auditioned to be on Fox News. That's basically what this is, right? She literally goes on Fox News all the time. They change their hair and makeup. They change her costume every day, whatever. There she is. And it's really apparent. It's basically just a TV show. And then, for people like, that's why people refer to Noem as Ice Barbie. It's like playing dress up nonstop. This is regarding the situation. And if you want to find a video out there, you can, whether or not ICE ran over someone's legs. I'll just say this, that there's a video where he's screaming and what appears to be in pain. And I don't even think I can even play it for you on YouTube, to be frank with you guys. I will read this though. It says, Vancouver Police, USA. On December 5th, 2025, Vancouver Police Department was made aware of an incident that occurred in Vancouver on December 4th involving agents from the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, ICE, right? Vancouver Police Department learned of this incident via a video that appeared to be taken with a cell phone of an ICE arrest that was subsequently circulated by community members. The video appears to show that the arrested person's foot may have been struck by an ICE agent's vehicle during the arrest. Based on the information regarding a vehicle that is alleged to have struck a person within the limits of Vancouver, per our policy, the Vancouver Police Department will be conducting a traffic investigation to determine the facts. Injuries related to ICE enforcement should be directed to the Northwest Region U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement Director of Communications, Lisa Smock. Nothing further is releasable at this time. I just want to say this, guys. I get upset sometimes, but it's a lot of stress every day to read through these reports. I mean, we're arguing about whether or not Trump people are running over people's foot or leg, however you want to describe it, with vehicles. So the Trisha McLaughlin person, oh no, we didn't run over the person's leg, we ran over their foot. That's kind of the way they would spin this stuff. But I get upset because I know these are real people. I heard the person screaming when they, this, like I said, the reports that got run over by a car. That's some serious pain, essentially probably breaking someone's, foot or something. And this is what we've come to in USA, debating on whether or not we're running over people. And for those people who are, all about, oh, I just arrest everyone and I hate everyone, that kind of stuff. Here's the thing, regardless of what you think about other people, just put yourself in literally in their shoes in the situation. Like, imagine if it was you, right? Imagine if these mass people show up, you don't know what the heck is going on, and then they just run you over. I mean, the whole thing is terrible. If you're watching my channel, you understand. I always push for the need just to think about just regular people in this situation. You'll read this kind of stuff, and this is the ICE stuff, right? There's another one. Last night in Burnsville, ICE agents broke down doors, pointed guns at children, and left a 7-year-old boy without either parent. Cruelty as a political strategy is inhumane, right? The 7-year-old is now alone and afraid because U.S. citizens were detained at gunpoint in their home while the boy's parents were taken away. A pregnant family member hid with her children while agents smashed through the bedroom doors. No warrant was shown, according to the families. And what triggered it was a neighbor's ordinary grocery run. It's impossible to live daily when it might mean you're ripped away from your child at any moment, whether you're a citizen or not. I don't care about your politics. If you can just justify traumatizing a second grader and leaving him parentless as, quote, just enforcing the law, we've lost something fundamental about our humanity. We're better than this. Like I said, it's just frustrating going through all this stuff every time. And I feel like some of these people that you see on social media, it's just, they're just posing to be on Fox News, right? They just want to be a TV star on Fox News. And I guess in this day and age, say you do that by just showing how mean you are to families. So these people are sick. I don't know the way to put it. Breaking: Alina Habba, a fiery Trump loyalist, will step down from her role as top prosecutor in New Jersey after an appellate court ruled that AG Bondi had improperly appointed her as U.S. attorney. Bondi announced that Habba will now serve as the Attorney General's senior advisor. So I guess there's some shakeup there. She's moving around. She was also before a personal lawyer or defense lawyer, yeah. So she's like a personal friend, basically, kind of thing. It was also reported: breaking: Alina Habba, President Trump's embattled pick for top federal prosecutor in New Jersey, announced that she will step down after a federal appeals court ruled that she had been serving in her role unlawfully. I just want to read a couple different versions of it because language matters in these kind of things. Breaking: after activist judges made it nearly impossible to do her job as U.S. attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba has resigned. And so it's always interesting to read through the different versions of it. So he's going to make the case that, those activist judges, right? And then the other way you would make the case is like, well, she was appointed unlawfully, and if you want to respect the law, then get out, basically. And then she has this strange statement. I'll just read the end of her statement. And for those of you in New Jersey, I want to hear your thoughts on this. She writes, "Make no mistake, you can take the girl out of New Jersey, but you cannot take New Jersey out of the girl." So I'm from Oregon. I know about Oregon. I have no, and I used to live in New York. So, there's that. But I don't grew up in New Jersey, and I don't know what the local New Jersey people would say. What does that mean to you? And when Alina Habba is like, "Hey, I'm totally New Jersey girl. I'm a Jersey girl, right? And I work with Trump." It's essentially what this boils down to. What does that mean? I don't know. That's why I like to talk with you guys in the community. I don't know everything about New Jersey or whatever, but this is who the Trump administration is. It's frankly, it's just a lot of posing. These people are deeply unqualified. The Trump administration is deeply unethical. And you do track the stuff because there's a few pressure points that you can see it start to bust. Because, for example, okay, we get rid of Noem, then we bring in Youngkin or whatever. What's his purpose? Probably he's going to try to make a run for the presidency, and he'll say, okay, I was really tough on immigration at DHS. Look at all the detention centers that I built. And if he can get Stephen Miller's rally and support or whatever, then they'll make her play for that. That's what this game is all about. Some people are making a run to my ultimate goal is to be a host on Fox News. That's what some people are going for. Other people are like, I want to get this presidency. Other people are in the Trump administration, I just want to put money in my pocket or whatever. These people, they don't care about regular people at all. It's obvious in their talk. It's obvious who the propagandist people type are. And, the main thing I always tell you guys is just talk like regular people, talk about this stuff honestly, and go through everything. That's which I try to do my best I can every day. So I do appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.